Okay, this is Ralph Roberts, and right across the street from me is the Harris Casino in Cherokee, North Carolina. On the Cherokee Indian Reservation. Big place in this isolated mountain valley. But I thought I'd take you on a ride up and out of this little valley. My brother's the Cherokee, and I am part Cherokee. Scalp the palefaces daily here at this huge casino. I try to throw a little money out the window whenever I go by too. It's for a good cause. But anyway, that's that and a couple blocks of gift shops about all there is in downtown Cherokee. But that casino's huge. They're building a new hotel tower, and with the new tower, the hotel will have more rooms than any other hotel in North Carolina, even in the big cities like Charlotte and Winston-Salem and Raleigh and so forth. So that's moderately impressive. But just a few hundred feet away from the casino, you start getting back into the mountains again, and it's beautiful out here with the winds of spring here on April the 20th, 2011. And a very nice day for a drive. I've had an enjoyable visit to Cherokee, although it was on business. And now I'm heading back to Asheville. It's about an hour and 15 minutes or so from Cherokee, not very far. And then as I adjust the camera slightly to get the road in it a little bit better. Not so important here, but when we start making all those curves going up towards Soco Gap, which is where this road crosses over the mountains and down into Haywood County, having the road centered a little bit more will be important. So I'll take you up the mountain and maybe a little bit on the way down. See how it goes, how long it gets. That's the bingo place. Not enough, they have a casino. They've also got a huge bingo hall. It's sort of warm today. In fact, I stopped at a convenience store in Cherokee and got me a very appropriate drink for driving in the mountains, a Mountain Dew, actually a diet Mountain Dew. Good stuff. It's relatively flat down here in the valley, but soon enough we'll be going up into the mountains. Santa's Land. That's an amusement park that's been here featuring Christmas in July and August and June for that matter too, for decades. I remember it was here back in the 60s, so it's been here a long time. And they're still open. A lot of amusement parks in this area have come and gone, but that one stays open, and who knows why. Except the people managing it, of course. I'm sure they know why. They're pretty good at it. Rock Church over on the left, I don't know where you can see it, is a Methodist, was originally a Methodist mission that was built here back in the 1830s. So it's been here a long time. 1830 was before the so-called Trail of Tears. But when that was in the 1840s, I believe, when most of the Cherokee and eastern part of what was then the United States, near as big as it is now, were sent to Oklahoma. However, the Cherokee they're called the Middle Cherokee up here in the mountains, sort of hid out and managed to stay. And today, of course, they have they're the eastern band of the Cherokee Indians, and they have their own casino, which they own, and Harris runs it for them, but they own it and they get a lot of profit out of it. My great-great-grandmother was full-blooded Cherokee, and we actually have relatives on the reservation, so used to come out here when I was growing up in the 50s and early 60s, and believe me, Cherokee has changed dramatically since then. Who'd have thought they'd had that huge casino? And now we're starting up into the mountains and getting the pretty trees all around us, and some with white blossoms on them and so forth. I think those are dogwoods. And here we go. And it gets like this, except steeper and with more curves for the next 8 or 9 miles up to the Gap. The Gap is a place where the shoulders of mountains meet, and it's a little bit lower, so the old trading trails and war trails of the Cherokee went through the Gaps, and now the roads do. It's a 2-lane road. It's one of the main ways of getting into Cherokee, although they do have one 4-lane out now. But it's closer for me to go this way, and plus I enjoy the drive a whole lot more. This is neat. I've filmed it several times before. Back in 2006 through 2008, I had a local TV show called Rapid Ralph Runs the Roads, and I filmed most of the roads around West North Carolina. And I've been pretty much getting the rest of them on my Droid 2 phone here now that I'm not on the air anymore, but I'm on the internet, which is even better. Some of the curves go around rather sharply. And we're climbing now. And making progress. My ears popped. I know we're gaining altitude. And this is Bear Meats Indian Den, featuring fresh hard-boiled peanuts, etc. It's a souvenir stand that's been there for a long time. Pretty nice one. If you ever drive into Cherokee, stop and check it out. Cherokee and the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, which this is adjoins, this whole area of western North Carolina is the most visited vacation destination in Eastern America. So we do get a lot of tourists. And they quite often leave their money for us, which is good. Y'all come. But more seriously, the reason so many people come is because this is a totally beautiful area. And you're getting to see a little part of it as I film it today. Yep. This, by the way, it's called the Qualla Boundary, the Cherokee Indian Reservation. And a lot of people don't realize it, but this is actually a sovereign nation. It's independent from the United States, although the Federal Bureau of Indian Affairs is one of the governing bodies of the or regulatory bodies at least of the reservation. It has its own government. The principal chief of the Cherokee right now is a gentleman named Michael Hicks, I believe. I know he's running for re-election because I saw some signs up. And as far as I know, he's done a pretty good job, so I can't vote for him. I'm not a member of the tribe, but hey, he's all right. So anyway, here we go, around more curves. At the top of this road, it goes under the Blue Ridge Parkway, which is a scenic highway that goes from up in the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia, where it's called the Virginia Skyway, down through North Carolina and ends somewhere in, I'm not sure, either Georgia or Tennessee. I need to research that. I shouldn't. I know, I'm just not remembering right now. Beautiful drive, though. I think it ends in, maybe in Cherokee. Then you get on 441 and go up and over by Clingman's Dome and down into the Tennessee area, Gatlinburg and that area, Cades Cove, and so forth. When I said Georgia, I was confusing the Blue Ridge Parkway with the Appalachian Trail, which does start in Georgia and ends up in Maine somewhere. But you can't drive it. You can drive the Blue Ridge Parkway, hence I'm more familiar with it. Although I have hiked, 100, 200 feet on the Appalachian Trail. Not very far. Rapid Ralph is more of a driver than a walker. We're getting on up in the hills now. This is, I believe, US 19. But I've been riding along it for most of my life. So I've been up and down through here many a time. The device I'm filming this with, by the way, is a Motorola Droid 2 smartphone. Does a pretty good job. Just films in standard definition, but still looks alright. Oh, there's some power lines that was leaning down a bit. This where you turn off to go down to Soco Falls. No, that's an overlook, I guess, for it. Huh. Here's where you turn to go down. I'm going to have to go down and check it out one of these days. We like waterfalls. My wife and I film waterfalls. We have a series called Waterfalls of the Southern Highlands, which you can buy on Amazon. There are hundreds of waterfalls in this area of North Carolina, many quite scenic. Now we'll get up close to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Go around this curve up here and we'll be seeing it almost immediately. Or at least the bridge, since we're below it, we can't see much of the highway. And we'll be leaving the Cherokee Indian Reservation momentarily. In fact, there's the sign that says leaving Cherokee Indian Reservation. Hence, that's a pretty good tip that we actually are off the reservation. And we've moved into a new country, the United States of America. Although it's mixed up a lot, the county governments of Jackson and Swain County still have some things they control in the reservation area and so forth. So it's but still, it really is independent country. This is the Blue Ridge Parkway. You can see the bridge coming up now. We're going to go under it. And got a steep grade going down Soco Mountain here, a lot steeper than coming up on the other side, so I just flipped down into low gear and slowed down a little bit. But now we're over in Haywood County, North Carolina. We were in Jackson County in the part of Cherokee that I filmed. Yep. And this goes down to Maggie Valley, North Carolina, which is another tourist attraction in the area and well worth seeing. Nice drive. It's 5 o'clock in the evening now, or in the afternoon, I guess. April the 20th, 2011. This is Ralph Roberts reporting from beautiful western North Carolina and the land of the sky. Thanks for riding along.